We're going to continue until we remove the two existential threats.
The motive is not faith, it is power.
What are you looking for here? An end, a real end, not a ceasefire, an end.
Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, says Iran will never compromise.
This isn't just a war. It's a bloody game of chess. And Israel, they have been playing longer than anyone else. This war didn't start in 2025, not even in 2023, not even in 1948. Israel has been at war for thousands and thousands years. But here is something that no one is telling you. Through every invasion, every empire, every enemy, Israel had one secret weapon that no other nation ever did. In this video, you will see why they are still here, why they keep winning, and why in every war Israel fights with advantage no one can match. In 2025, and Israel launches Operation Rising Lion. They hit Iranian nuclear sites with precision. Iran responds. Missiles screams across the night sky. A few break through the Iron Dome, but 90% was contained. But what is behind of this long war? Hate, revenge, or desperation? The year is 1948, and Israel is reestablished. And the very next day, 7 armies try to wipe Israel off the map. They are surrounded, outnumbered. Every general says they are finished. But by the end, Israel's flag is still flying. In 1973, it is Yom Kippur, Judaism's holiest day. Israel is caught off guard by Egyptians and the Syrian forces. It was the closest Israel ever came to losing. They survived years in exile, a battle for their land. And even after conflict seems to end, attacks didn't come from within or around their borders anymore. The battlefield was no longer at the border. It was an airport thousands of kilometers away. Let me tell you about this Operation Entebbe. In 1976, an Air France plane was hijacked by terrorists and forced to land in Entebbe, Uganda. The passengers were separated. The Jews identified. They were held as hostages. Bargaining chips in a high-stakes demand, $5 million and release of dozens of Palestinian prisoners. If Israel refused, the execution would begin. But Israel didn't wait. Under the cover of night, the IDF flew more than 2,500 miles into enemy's territory. A rescue force landed at the airport in Entebbe and executed one of the most daring missions in modern military history. In just 90 minutes, over 100 hostages were freed. 3 were lost, and leading the charge, Jonathan Netanyahu, the oldest brother of Israel's future prime minister. He was killed during the operation, but his death marked the final moment of a mission that shook the world. It wasn't just a rescue, it was a declaration. Israel does not leave its people behind, not in war, not in exile, not in enemies' hands. Israel has always fought under impossible odds, outnumbered, outgunned, surrendered, and yet they overcome again and again. These are not just ancient stories, they are military records soaked in blood and belief. And even in biblical times, we see these stories repeating and proving Israel has something nobody else has. Joshua against the Amorites. More enemies died from hailstones sent by God than by Israeli hands. Samuel against the Philistines. God thundered and confused their enemies before they even had to attack. King Hezekiah and his army was surrounded, and he prayed to God for deliverance. And during the night, an angel of the Lord destroyed 185,000 soldiers and freed Judah. Some call it coincidence, but if the same outcome repeats through centuries, through empires, through shifting battlefields, can it still be called chance? There is something else at play here. You can study their tactics. You can count missiles, analyze alliances, run simulations. But there is one variable no strategist can measure: the covenant. This is a people exiled for centuries, scattered, hunted, nearly erased. Yet every time they return, they rebuild, they survive. Who else in history has done that? Not once, but over and over. Missiles may fly, propaganda may roll, armies may rise, but none of it changes the core truth. Israel doesn't win because it's the strongest. It wins because it refuses to fall, because it carries something no one else does, something ancient, relentless, and deeply unfair to those who oppose it. So what is Israel's strategy? It's not weapons. It's not alliances. It is in their identity. And in this game, that is the move no one else can play. At every move, checkmate. Not because they always strike first, but because they never play alone.